Vigilante team. If you watched my last video, you probably know I wasn't very pleased about the team. As you can see, I like making things red, but I didn't do the new team. I didn't even work at them. I have 2 diamonds on Punisher and Elektra. I accidentally took Elektra to 105. I didn't even mean to do it. I was just kind of leveling people, and I accidentally pushed the bar all the way and didn't even realize I did it. No T4s. Punisher, no T4s. Um, Daredevil, no T4s. I went high enough to equip Purple ISO to do the events. That's how bad I think this team is. I level characters. I have 224 million gold. I can level the character, but it seems like a waste. The team feels bad. It doesn't function. It's got all of these things in here that say 4 or more Vigilante allies. And, we got another team in the game that says 4 or more. You know who it is? And who feel bad? Starjammers. I don't feel like this team feels good at all. So why do I want another team like that? So, what do we do to fix them? How do we fix the Vigilante allies? That's the question of the day. And I think that's where this video is heading. Let's go look at them on the Marvel Strike Force website. Let's take a look. So, first off, let's talk about them for a minute. Let's talk about the turn order that happens just so we kind of understand the team a little bit better. Silver Sable goes first at 128. Hitmonkey goes second at 127. Daredevil goes third at 118. And Punisher goes fourth at 115. And Elektra goes fifth at 114. So, there's only one character I remotely deem kind of fast, and one character I deem average. Everyone else is below average. Below tanks, mostly. This is slower than Gladiator. Just to give you an idea. The Annihilator's tank. So, the Annihilator's tank is 121. 3 of these characters are slower than him. That's kind of how bad they are. Let's go look at Silver Sable. This character's passive is all about speed bar fill, but they don't get any. They only get it in raid. But I think that's mostly fine. I don't think they need it out. I think they need a little bit. As you can see, it gives a ton of speed bar in raid when they unspawn, and they give speed bar when they hit vulnerable enemies. I definitely don't want to give them the vulnerable enemy ones, because that one's overpowered as all get out. We do not want that in the game. The speed bar fill, on the other hand, I think is very reasonable, but not at that form. I think it's 10%. No, not 10% per ally, just 10%. I think that's enough. That puts them very mid of cheater characters, if that. That takes them to, and this is bad math, by the way, like Silver Sable's like 140, Hitmonkey's like 140, Daredevil's like 130, still slower than Storm, Punisher's like 126, slower than 127 characters, Elektra's slower than 127 characters, like, that feels very fair. And that's bad math, by the way. That's not ticks and everything else. I get there's other things. Now, there is something else we got to talk about. And Hitmonkey gives them speed up on his first turn, which is very big. And that should be noted. But also counterable. Hitmonkey, if he doesn't take a turn, doesn't give speed up, well, that's where the team kind of has its problems. Because right now, if you're dealing with a 127 character that never gives them speed up, you just lose. That's the problem with this team right now. So I think the way you fix this is you make Hitmonkey slightly faster. And you do that through Silver Sable. Everything else about Silver Sable, I'd leave alone. Her having on offense remove dodge chance, that's fine. Her on offense with 4 removes death proof, I think that's fine. Those are too strong to take and give to everybody with reduced characters. I think it's fine. Her ultimate is good, but her degradation is tied to the 4. Degradation is really strong. I do not think you open that up. She puts a bunch of debuffs out. I don't think you open up the ability block or trauma. I think you leave it alone. I think you leave her special, and I think everything about this character is fine. I think she's good, but I don't think she's over the top. I think on spawn a little bit of on spawn speed bar fill would go a long way for this character. Let's go look at Hitmonkey's number 2. This character pings if he's full health, heals if he doesn't, generates ability energy outside of raid for himself but not his allies. I think that's all fine. This line right here is the one line I would change on him, and I would take it down to 3. And I think that would make it more than fair, and the reason I think 3 is the right number is because I don't think you want this effect to be on defense, and it currently is opened up to both. I don't think you'll see it, and so that's kind of the one thing I'm thinking about right now. But what it does do is it lets you plug in a mythic character and still have that effect available and fight mythic teams. And I think that's a big deal. Because right now, when you have a 5-man team, and Starjammers we're seeing that, is they just, if there's certain characters that they don't deal well with, it just blocks them from making attacks. And you can just block them out of ever doing anything that's remotely fair to the team, that you're only fighting old yucky teams or you're losing. And that's the problem with this team right now. It's supposed to be an offensive team. It's supposed to be good. Well, it's not. Hitmonkey does give offense up and speed up with his ultimate, which will be his first ability because you need the offense up and speed up. So Hitmonkey doesn't have an option for a different attack. He's never going to push this button. This is his turn 1. This is his turn 1. This is his turn 2. It's a buff. It's a debuff extend. It's great. He's got a debuff extend here. I would make this 3. If we're doing all these others to 3, this guy needs to be 3 too. I don't think it's that big of a deal because I don't think Hitmonkey's a striker. I could be wrong on that. I'm not sure. There's a lot of vulnerable adds from all these abilities, so I don't know if you can play 3 strikers on this team and still have vulnerables up. That's yet to be seen. If you can, you'll play Hitmonkey as a striker, and you'll play 3 strikers. We just gotta wait and see. Actually, it would be 4 strikers. Because you're gonna play Daredevil and Elektra as strikers too. Possibly even Punisher, because of the turn order. So we'll see. Daredevil's the character that really needs changes. Daredevil has a okayish kit, but he's super hard locked to 4-man team, and that's garbage. I would still leave this 4-man locked because it's actually I would make this 3-man locked, 3-man but offense only. I think that's fine because it still plays into the way we're trying to play this team on offense, that we have an open character slot. I think that's good. I would leave this still 4-man locked. It's too strong. Leave this as a 4-man lock. The bleed thing is definitely a 4-man lock. I think this one can be a 3-man lock and be okay, but as long as it has the offense only part. This is fine the way it is. What's not fine is this. And the only thing I would change on this is take it from 4 to 2. And the reason I take it from 4 to 2 is I don't think it changes how we play in war. I think this character would not play on defense in war, but I do think he'd play on defense in Crucible. And I think playing on defense in Crucible is a big deal. Because I think this would make it so that you can take 3 characters and build a Crucible team and have a pre-taunt. Now, we don't, Man-Thing requires that, and, we don't see Man-Thing and 3 characters getting plugged in everywhere. I think that's more than fair for this team. That would be taunt, safeguard. That's a good kit. That's a gladiator-style kit at that point. He's got heals from vulnerables, but he needs somebody to put vulnerables out there first. Like, he still needs some synergy to play with him, so, maybe you play with, Elektra and Hitmonkey. I think that's fair. Or do you play with Silver Sable and Hitmonkey? I don't know. But I think that would be okay because you don't have this passive. I think because this passive is offense locked, this part's okay. This part is where I would make one change. I would take this line right here and move it up here so it's not raid locked. Because this guy goes turn 3 in his team, I think we want him healing his team on his first turn. I think that would go a long ways with making this team better. I think locking the positive flip is fine. I don't think he needs that. but I think healing his team would go a long ways. As we saw when Dorky's footage, as soon as this team got hit, they got slapped. I think that would go a long ways with making this team better. Um, Now let's go look at Punisher. Punisher, there's not much I'd do. I like this guy's kit. He's just slow as beans. But Silver Sable helps with that, so I think that's mostly fine. The only thing I would change is this line right here. Take it from 4 to 3. So he can't play on defense with the others unless he plays with more members. But he can play on offense and play as a 4-man team. Because I don't think we want that. This guy has a really nice kit. I would leave it alone other than that. Elektra, I like her kit. There's 2 changes I'd make. Elektra, I would take her from 4 to... I would move this line altogether and replace it with Groot's line. That says something along the lines of you get plus 15% per ally up to 100% or whatever it is. That's what she should have. Hers should scale based off the member of Vigilante she has. And Into the Shadows should change too. I would change this from being a 1 of 3 ability, or a 3 of 3 ability, to a 1 of 3 ability. And the reason I would change that is because I want this to be turn 2. And I would make this clear 5 positive effects into degrade 3 positive effects. Because this character used to be a stripping machine. She was great at what she did. Well, she functioned before Safeguard existed. Safeguard now exists, and this is her turn 2. She is an executing machine. That's what her job is. So I think her degrading on her turn 2 is very reasonable. Let me know what you guys think. And you really don't want to be pushing these out of order because her first ability is her speed bar fill potentially. Her second ability is how she gets back in stealth. So you're not going to want to push her stealth ability when she's already in stealth. And that's just my opinion. So let me know what you guys think of that. You know, we opened up some of the abilities so that it's not all 4s. There's some 3s. The team obviously is better with 4s, but it opens up the option to plug in a required character, like if that's a turn 1 ability block or a stun. You know, all of a sudden you can plug in a character that, you know, makes a difference in the team without breaking the team. It also opened up Daredevil to playing, I think, on Crucible defense. I don't think that he would play on War defense. I don't think he's that good, but I think it very much opens up Crucible defense. You know, we already have a character like Daredevil on War defense if we want him, and that's called Gladiator. And Gladiator's already kind of become that anyway, so I don't think that Daredevil with 2 other characters really makes that any different. So that's how I would fix these guys. I think that opens up plug and play potential for, you know, some Crucible stuff. I think that makes for a more interesting and balanced team, and I think it helps alleviate the problem of I'm just going to block out this team with mythic characters, which is what will happen. It's what's happening with Starjammers. So I think that will help fix this team. And I think it opens up some cool things too, because I don't think all of their kits are terrible. I just think they're slow as beans. And slow as beans isn't playable. So let me know what you guys think. If that's what you guys like about this, if you think I'm wrong, if there's something you'd do differently, I'd love to hear. And we'll see you next time.